I think when you get used to air conditioning, anything over 75 is like everything's fucked.
Yeah,
Like you just get immediately like
brain
give up.
starts to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have AC in your place?
We have a couple. We have window units in every room,
And they work?
Which, some of them work. Like 50% of them work. We're getting them maintenance tomorrow, so we'll see.
Big day.
Yeah. 9 a.m.
Yeah.
They're coming to check them out.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, for the most part, they work. Like the one in the living room works, and our bedroom works. Those are the two
That's
most
the
important.
one that has to work.
Yeah.
The bedroom has to work.
Yes, yeah.
When I first moved out from my parents' place with my brother, my dad gave me this like terrible scare story about like, if you run that air conditioner all the time, you're going to get hundreds of dollars in electrical bill, right?
Right, yeah.
Which is not untrue.
It's not untrue.
But this was a 1-bedroom apartment or like a 2-bedroom apartment in Brea. And it was like 105 that summer. Many days that summer.
Days, yeah.
And we never ran the AC.
Oh, my God.
Because we were afraid to all the money it was going to cost us.
Right.
And in hindsight, that's one of the worst things I've ever done in my life.
It was like self-imposed.
Nightmare.
Oh my God.
Complete nightmare.
Yeah. Inhumane.
I don't think it's one of those things where you don't know enough yet to know how much to listen or not.
Right.
Because like now I know enough that if it's like 80 degrees out or 90 degrees out, there's no amount of money that's too high to keep it livable in your apartment.
Right.
No amount of money.
Yeah, of course I'll pay. Yeah, I'm dying. Turn it on.
Everything I'm doing is miserable.
Yes.
Nothing is fun. I haven't had fun since 60 degrees, whenever that was.
I have a question for you.
I'm ready.
Do you like the heat? I hate it. I can tolerate it, but my natural state would to always be in like fall weather 100% of the time with humidity.
I think that question is primarily answered by two things. Do you burn in the sun?
Yes.
Easily.
Yes.
That's number one.
This is why I'm asking you, because I wonder if we're...
Well, me, I step outside, I'm a raisin immediately. I'm a scorch mark on the earth. So there's that. The other, and this is the truth, nobody wants to say it, but it's the truth, is how do you look at a swimsuit? Those are the two criteria. Because...
I mean, I look pretty good in a swimsuit. I'd still...
Sure you do, Mags.
100% of the time rather wear...
Because you don't want to have to put on the sunscreen, right?
No, actually, I prefer it. Like, I feel like... Yeah.
You just prefer the coolness?
Yes. I love the cool. Ooh, biting cold is actually one of my favorite like feelings.
Oh.
Yeah. Like that I can I have like a high tolerance for coldness.
I feel like nobody complains about 90-degree days.
I would complain.
Really?
Yeah.
They complain about, okay. I feel like most people complain about 100-degree days because that's when the heat is like unmanageable. Like, but everybody complains about any temperature below 40. Like if it gets below 40, everyone's like fucking cold. Like
yeah.
So like I feel like most people like warmer weather. Right?
I think so too. Yeah, I think most people would prefer warmer weather.
Yeah.
Listeners, feel free to eviscerate us. We won't listen, but
I'm
like
not gonna listen to that.
I'm not gonna listen. But
you can send me all your I prefer cold. You're wrong, and I'll be like, all right. Sorry. I'm an open door for some things.
For some, but that absolutely not. Yeah, I feel like mostly the answer just lies deep within your soul, and it just has something to do with some sort of.
It's 100% about how comfortable am I in less clothes and getting sunburnt, which are related.
Yeah.
So I have never enjoyed summer. Summer's never been like, I'm always like, fuck, when's it going to be November?
Right. It's not for Adam.
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm not a pool boy. Like some people are pool boys.
I'm a pool girl.
Oh, I know you are.
I could sit in water all
saw
day.
It in your eyes.
I
saw the floaty preserver right in your eye. I saw it circling the pool. Now, funny enough, I did have a pool in a place I lived in Long Beach.
Ooh.
And and there was one summer I'm like, I'm gonna be a pool boy this summer. I'm gonna be a fucking pool boy.
Yeah.
And like we were out there every day having cigarettes with our friends.
Yeah.
Greatest summer of my life.
Oh my God.
I was like 27. It was perfect. I was too old to like do anything real stupid, like jumping off a roof.
Right.
But I was too young to like be just like I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, because after 30, you get the I don't want to deal with it. You know, you'll find out. You'll see. It'll creep up on you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Are you trimming your cats down for summer? Are you shaving their coats down?
No, but they are shedding. This is their first official shed. We brush them daily just to, you know.
Daily?
Yeah, we brush them every day.
Cat's the Queen of England?
It's just like I can see, like I'll pet Murphy, and as my hand is coming away, there's like just like hair and I'm like no. So I mean, it's just a habit at this point that we brush them with a brush just to, you know,
because you don't want that gross hair all over you.
Yeah, I just don't want it.
Do you still get sneezes and stuff, or are you fine now?
Not really. I mean, we bought an air purifier,
and that did the difference.
And it helps.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll like take out the filters, and you know, you'll like see the stuff that I filtered.
You'll hear it say evil. It'll whisper the word evil.
Like, we have to shove it into box, put it in the bottom of the ocean. But yeah, so that helps and is a tip for anyone that is dealing with that currently, with any hot cats going around.
I mean,
their house.
Can you tell if they're hot or not? Can you tell?
Kind of. I mean, yeah. So like today we have the air conditioning going, so they're doing fine. But like when we have it off, they'll just lie on their backs all day, which they'll normally do. But like during the winter, you know, they'll sleep in a ball or they'll sleep in their house. Whereas in the summer, they'll just balls out, you know.
They're just laying devil may care.
Yeah, devil may care on the floor, which is like, you know, the coldest part of the house, I guess.
Like, I kind of admire when I watch nature shows. I'm like, how do animals deal with it when it's like super hot? And you know what? Most of the time they do? They dig cold earth.
Yeah.
They dig up a cold spot in the earth and they like sit in
mud.
it. Yeah. I'm like, I could be a dirt boy.
You could be a dirt boy.
I could be a dirt boy.
You could be a dirt boy.
That
a
would be
mud
okay.
boy, dirt boy.
I could do that.
Absolutely.
That wouldn't be the worst.
No.
I don't think. So, hey, this is I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
It is. Coincidentally.
This is what we're doing. Yeah, coincidentally.
By chance, yeah.
I love the idea that we just get together and record podcasts, and it's like, what do you think this is? And what show is this? Most of the time it's not a show.
I'm not going to say that.
It doesn't have to be usable.
It doesn't, yeah.
This is that.
Yeah.
I think you're getting a vibe for how it goes if you haven't been here before.
Oh, yeah. If this is your first time.
Welcome.
Well,
We're not that gentle.
You're not that gentle.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Adam Ganser, and with me is
the other one.
The better half?
Oh.
Why not? I like saying nice things.
Okay.
Take it. But you didn't say your name.
But I gotta say it. Maggie Mayfish. I'm the better half of Adam Ganser, officially.
Yeah, well, maybe so that there's no confusion.
Write that down in all your notebooks.
Maybe so that Maggie Mayfish's mother is not confused.
Yes.
The better half of this podcast.
The better half of this podcast.
Thank you.
Podcast.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Still got to meet your mom. Let's put that on the
you still
docket
gotta
somewhere.
meet, and also she'll be a part of the topic that we covered today.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very excited about that.
She'll make an appearance.
So normally in this show we do a brief check-in.
Yeah.
See how things are going, which we're going to do.
Okay. Well, I was going to say we kind of
We did a little bit, but you know, just give me a general what's up with Will.
We'll do a feelings check-in.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Any unusual feelings?
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any?
Happiness.
Are you starting to come out of the sadness?
Yeah. I mean, this last weekend I saw a ton of friends, and I think it was just like I mean, I think people at this point are like feeling like, okay, like I can actually make a social plan, and you know, I think people are dipping their toes. At least people are vaccinated. So it's just been like rejuvenating to see people. Yeah. On Saturday, there was a moment where I was just like with a bunch of friends. We were outside, and I had like
great
a cocktail, and I just was this is wonderful.
What cocktail?
I got, what did I get? I wanted to get a cantaloupe martini. They were out, so I got a Moscow Mule. But still
what an interesting sub.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I really wanted to try that cantaloupe flavor, but
interesting. Basically, good. If I have to drink a cocktail, I'm going back to an old fashioned. That's a pretty standard.
Okay. I mean, those are great. Yeah.
Because I'm a whiskey neat. That's my thing. So when I was 27, it was like trying to be something, and now I'm like 40.
Right.
And it's like, no, I just like this now.
Aw,
It's great. I aged into it.
You aged into it. You're like, well, now you pretended to like it, and now you actually like it. You've now arrived at the age where the thing you like is acceptable.
If only, finally am the age that I am.
What about you, Adam? What's,
Unusual feelings?
Yeah.
Well, we are all getting back in person, so that's been good. I've had a ton of social things the last couple weeks. So that's been very fun. I saw my family, which was nice. My sister is in town, which is very sweet.
That's fun.
So she's been seeing her. I'm at a point where a lot of the scripts I've been working on are starting to kind of become something. Which is good. Codes and I just finished a draft of something today.
Cool.
And I finished another thing last week. So that's good. I'm going to go to Disneyland at the end of this month.
Wow.
Which apparently will be mask free by then.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're recording this on the 14th of June. Tomorrow, there's going to be new California statewide mandates that mostly will lift the masks for everybody who's vaccinated.
Yeah.
And that will include Disneyland. So I have a friend who used to do costumes for us at Cracked who was like, let's go to Disneyland, bro. And I was like, sounds great. So that'll be great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, things are great, really.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I feel like, and everyone just like wants to like hang out and chill. And I kind of feel like there's no like expectations really, like in a fun way.
It's okay, yeah. Like we're all easing back into it.
Yeah.
Like I am encountering a lot of people who are feeling more reluctant to get out than I feel, which is actually a little surprising because I'm a very like hermit kind of person.
Oh, so you're very hermit and cautious in a way.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, but like I don't feel like weird about going out really because I'm like, look, I got the shot. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
So I am trying so that's an unusual thing that I think at least people I know are like kind of a bit more cautiously dipping their toe in the water. So that part's good.
Yeah.
Plants are not dead yet. Somehow.
Not dead yet.
They look okay, right?
Look okay.
Yeah, they're looking okay.
He's hanging on.
He's hanging on. Yeah, what else is there really? What else is there? Your writing is going well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you have a thing that's getting somewhere.
Quarterfinalist. Yeah.
Okay.
And
when do you find out?
For that one, I think next month they do the semifinalists.
I see.
And then one more month.
3 months to decide? That's crazy.
I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
And then I'm also, I got into the second round of the Sundance Episodic Lab.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So
this is with the one I read, right?
Yes. So yeah, that we find out about in August. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
So who knows, man?
Who knows?
Who knows? You know, you.
I can only do my best.
That's right. Circumstances must intervene on your behalf.
Right.
That's just how this works.
I did reread my application again the other day, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, you feeling just like you aced it?
I mean,
Sundance has gotta get thousands of submissions every year, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
They must.
Yeah, they must.
Yeah, they must. So you probably have to. It has to be right all the way down, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you know anybody? Have you made any calls?
No. Is that people do that? I assume. Oh, man.
I hear that. I mean, I don't know. I've never made a call, but I hear that.
Well, if
You're
anyone
just riding
listening
on
to this,
merit. I love it.
I was like, well, you know.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, fingers are crossed. Officially. That is official.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Fingers are crossed. So today's topic is a comfort food movie. Your comfort food movie.
Comfort food movie.
A topic that I think we can agree is intentionally vague.
Intentionally vague.
Right.
Yeah. Open to interpretation.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I can't wait to hear how you did that. I cannot wait to hear how you did that. Because I also interpreted it weirdly, I think. I think so. This was brought to us by one of our patrons. It was. We love them so much.
We love them.
They're doing their job, the job they're paying to do.
Yeah, Finally, we always complain that no one's submitting topics, which is when you're one of our patrons, you can submit topics for us to talk about, and finally. We have one.
We've had a few actually.
Yeah.
But they're really starting to. I am impressed with the degree of cleverness that I'm starting to see. I'm really liking that.
You guys are fun.
And because we love you guys so much, because you're keeping the lights on,
You are.
We're gonna go through a list of all the producers that I have. I don't know how current this list is. Might be a little old.
Right. If you're not on this, no fear, no
You
foul.
will be. Yeah.
You will be.
You will be, but this is the one I currently have. And so these are the people to whom I am grateful. There may be others, but just rest assured, though not expressed, the gratitude swells convincingly for you nonetheless.
Yes.
So first of all, thanks to Luke Andrew.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Luke Andrew. Thanks to Bro J.
Bro J.
I like that name.
Yeah, as we're talking about comfort food movie, it's also comforting to go through this list of
It is, right?
Yeah,
It really is.
Oh, you're
It's like a warm patron hug.
It is.
It really is. Thanks to Jen Tacular.
Thank you, Jen.
She's been frequenting my streams.
Oh, Jen.
I know. You just missed her that one time where you bumped in. Yeah. You just missed her.
Well.
Thanks to Dave Ruff.
Ruff.
Yeah. Park Ranger.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't he be?
Yep.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he be? Do you think if you're a park ranger that you are good at hunting or that you never hunt?
I think mostly never. All the park rangers I know
Would never hunt.
wouldn't hunt.
But did you see their lodge, like where they live?
No. Yeah, so that's a good point. They could have a lot of deer heads and I wouldn't
they
know.
could be a taxidermy fun house in there. You know? Could be like a throne made of squirrel bones. You don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. Parvanay Angus. Thank you.
Angus.
I finally did it right.
You did.
Yeah, I love Parvanay. Flamey Sore, thank you.
Flamey Sore.
Liam Berkelian Burke. Thank you.
Thank you.
You love Liam Berkelian Burke.
I do. He's a noble.
Oh, yeah.
And he has land.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely a landowner.
Yeah.
Definitely a landowner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. How many like asses does he own, you know? Like how many?
Probably like at 10, 15.
Yeah. Like,
right? Because he has the land for it.
Yeah. What's he growing?
Wheat and barley. He's in Scotland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great climate for that.
Great climate. And the local brewery loves his, know.
Yeah, he sends him a slice, right?
Oh, absolutely.
He's a decent noble.
He's a decent guy, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Jake Emery.
Jake Emery.
I think we've given Jake Emery a lot.
We have.
I don't feel the need to give him more.
Let's move on. Melissa.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you to Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you to Christopher Williams.
Christopher Williams.
Yeah, that guy's in jewelry.
Yeah.
Manufactures jewelry.
Manufactures jewelry.
Like high-end jewelry.
Yes, I was going to say high-end and ethical.
I'm so glad.
No blood diamonds.
I was looking to you. It's like, how ethical is it?
Yeah. A lot of grown crystal, you know.
Oh, yeah. So it's artificial.
Yeah. Artificial, but still looks beautiful.
Oh.
He really wants to take the next step where, things can be artificial, but still luxury.
Wow. What an innovator.
What an innovator.
Christopher Williams.
Christopher Williams.
Captain of Crystal. All right. Nathan Wells.
Thank you, Nathan Wells.
Unpublished author, but our hopes remain, our fingers are crossed for you.
Yes. Also, people could get discovered after their death, too. So
100%. So don't throw that manuscript out. Timothy Chevalet.
Thank you, Timothy Chevalet.
Yep. Rich K. Fooling no one. Mm-hmm. Not a single. I mean, we're not going to say it, but we know who he is. Yeah. John Williams. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Michael, Adam, Maggie, review a Pink Floyd album, Hudson. Michael Hudson sent. That's how I know there's an old list.
Yeah.
Mike Hudson sent me a hilarious attempt to get us to talk about Pink Floyd.
Interesting.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
I laughed very hard.
That's fun.
One day.
One day,
Mike Hudson.
will.
You play your cards correctly.
Pink Floyd is definitely within the things that will come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't like to pick sides, but Nicholas Fabian's my favorite patron. I think.
Oh, man.
Nicholas Fabian is a name that has more myth than the man ever could.
That's true. It's like, honestly, Nicholas, I never want to meet you in real life because you cannot live up to the mythos that we've created
if
for you.
If we ever do a live show, don't come up and introduce yourself as Nicholas Fabian because if you're not riding a lion with a cape, I do not believe you.
I will not believe you.
You can show me a driver's license.
Yeah.
Don't care. Where's the line? Where's the cape?
You will always be an imposter until you show up in a cape.
Yeah, you're fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like Eminem, right? there's too many of you.
Yeah.
And finally, for this first batch, thanks to Adam Duncan.
Thank you, Adam Duncan.
Seems like a sweet guy.
Always great to end on the dunks.
Yes, it is. Thank you. So, comfort food movie, Maggie. This was what a weird round.
What a weird run.
This was.
We sometimes pick very different movies, but this is a great example of us picking very different genre, tone,
and like wondering what comfort can be derived from these films.
Right.
I think one thing I'm enjoying learning about you is that a lot of your home life revolves around very old movies.
Yes.
That's really interesting because yours was The Pajama Game.
Yes.
And mine was Lost in Translation. Lost in Translation. So who do you want? Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Why don't we start with Pajama Game?
No, please. Thank you. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to talk about this fucking Pajama Game.
Fucking movie.
Okay, it's great. It's great. I like, for some reason, something in me is nervous about talking about Bob Fosse, and I don't know why. I don't know if there's some scandal that I don't remember or something.
I don't think
but
so.
Man, the talent with Bob Fosse, and he's young at this point.
He's young. That's
I don't think he's even 30.
Yeah,
he's really young. Putting these dance numbers together,
and it turns out, I just saw it in the Heights, but I was gonna say it's so rare that these big musicals. I mean, they went out for a style for a reason, but there's something about them is so fun. It's watching actors do that and dancers, and I love all the music.
The songs in this one were a lot more playful than musicals of this time are in my memory. I thought. I really enjoyed this. I did. I really enjoyed it. You remember the comment I texted you after I finished reading it or watching it?
What'd you say?
I'll tell the audience.
Okay.
So the comment was, Maggie, you always find a way to attach to the communist propaganda movies because that's what it is.
I didn't even rewatching it this time because so I'll say it. The reason I picked this for my comfort movie is my mom and we would always watch Doris Day movies together.
Right.
Doris Day is my mom's favorite actress and
really favorite actress.
Yeah. My mom loves Doris Day.
Because I'm not a savant on Doris Day, but she doesn't stand out a lot compared to other actors.
Interesting.
To me, she stands out in this movie.
Yes,
but she doesn't have a thing. In the same way that Betty Davis has a thing.
I would say she has a thing. Her thing is
what is it, you think?
She was one of the pioneers of modern tomboy, early feminist. The haircut, she played Calamity Jane, and she took on a lot of roles where early on in her career, she was cast in a lot of, just love interest, supporting role. And when she got slightly older, she pivoted to doing an earlier version of the strong female lead who could go toe to toe with her male co-stars. And actually, a lot of her she really tried to work against the the virginal idea of womanhood. A lot of the roles she took on later were explicitly sexual.
Really,
still in a fun.
That's interesting.
Weird, Pillow Talk is another one that I love. That. And also, playing divorcees, which is very taboo
in the 50s.
So a lot of the things that we kind of are don't seem or just seem part of the time, she was a pioneer of in that way. So,
well, when you say pioneer, you mean because of the role she selected, right?
Yeah,
primarily that's what we're talking about. Okay.
Yes, and working against the ways in which people wanted to put her in a box and her career, basically.
That is interesting, yes. That is an interesting set of decisions now that I think about that.
Yeah, and then later on, her son ended up being a music producer who almost signed Manson, the Manson murderer.
Oh, Charlie Manson?
Yeah. He's tied in the Charlie Manson thing, which is just a fun... Many
people were swept up into that saga.
More than you think.
Yeah. So do you mind summarizing the movie? Just like what happens?
Oh wait, yeah. So I just want to. So yeah, my mom and I would watch Doris Day movies. Doris Day is my mom's favorite actress. Later on, I would fall in love with Audrey Hepburn, and we both had like our favorite old Hollywood, whatever. But yeah, so this one was one of my favorites growing up. All the songs are, again, like you said, so catchy that they just stuck with me. So the plot is about our protagonist, played by Doris Day. She is head of the complaints department at the Pajama Factory.
The Pajama Factory.
The Pajama Factory.
I forget the names of these places because I watched this 2 weeks ago, but
yes.
she's the head of the workers. She's like
an early workers' rights.
Yeah, they're not a union yet,
right?
Or are they a union? They are a union.
They do
right?
have a union meeting later on.
And but at the early part, she sort of represents like a one-person committee to review employee grievances.
Yes, she's on the grievance committee.
Yes.
So employees come to her when something untoward happens with the bosses.
They get injured. They get intimidated.
Injured. So basically, she gets pit up against their new boss, who's supposed to be this hunky guy,
who's technically the protagonist of the movie.
Right. He is. So he's the boss, and the workers are organizing to get a raise.
Yes.
So that comes in the conflict between her having a crush on this guy.
Who's like, he's hired at the top of the movie as a kind of foreman.
Yes.
He's like the superintendent of this, like, it's a sweatshop. That's what it is. And he's hired by this, rich owner type dude who's like an unreasonable guy.
A-hole coded. Yeah.
He's your typical banker from It's a Wonderful Life. He's that kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Like a very common type. And the superintendent is this like sort of handsome, theoretically well-intentioned middleman.
Yeah.
Right.
And he comes in very hot. Like, he comes in being a boss,
Yeah, he wants to prove himself.
Yeah, he wants to prove himself, and does not, at the beginning, does not sympathize with the worker plight, and...
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all.
Because he's not qualified for this job, right? That's the sneaky... His name, by the way, is Sid, so we all remember the name. Yeah.
Sid.
And Catherine Babe Williams.
Babe.
Do they call her Babe? Is that really her name?
Yeah, they call her Babe.
That swept right out of my head. Sid and Babe are the two who are having this fucking tryst. On the laundry on the fucking pajama manufacturing table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in this movie it really portrays Doris Day's ability to simultaneously play falling in love with a guy while also hating his guts, which is the thing I think a lot of women.
Oh yeah.
It's like
in that time period.
Yeah,
that feels right.
Yeah.
She is asked to do a thing that is logically contradictory, and she does seem it. And I don't mean that pun, but I'm going to take it. Seams it together.
Yeah.
She does do that. She
does. Yeah.
That part is very impressive. I agree. Okay, and then essentially the workers' strike.
The workers' strike happens. One of the big scenes of the movie is when they all have a party and they all implies that they all sleep together, and a bunch of stuff happens where their new boss, kind of starts to, understand his workers more and falling in love with Babe. He starts to be like, okay, fuck. And in the end, they find out that evil banker man has already hiked up the prices in the books, and so they're in fact all owed a raise as is.
Right, he's already technically expensing the raise.
Yes,
but he's, I guess, padding his wallet. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's implied that he's taking what is supposed to be their raise.
Yeah, they are already being paid according to the books, but the money is going we don't know where. Presumably his
pockets.
Yeah, presumably. Okay, that's a pretty good summary of it.
That's a pretty good summary. Yeah. It was a play that came out 2 years before the film was made, so it was first on.
It's a shocking film, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. It's 1953. We're all terrified of communists.
Yeah.
And this is a workers' strike story.
Yeah.
Like, and that is pro workers' rights.
Yeah.
And
which I gotta say, I did not. I mean, growing up, I loved the musical, but it wasn't until watching it now as an adult that I was like, "Whoa!"
You can't believe they made this movie.
You can't believe it. Like one of the musical numbers takes place at the union meeting.
Yes.
It's just like
it's great.
It's
right?
great. Yeah, but it's just like whoa.
That's more than like this isn't a lot. Like the whatever the amount of money is. 4 cents an hour isn't a lot, or whatever it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of the songs are very like. This is unusual in musicals. The songs are very like explaining the dilemma of the moment in a way that doesn't happen a lot in musicals. Which made it more winsome, I thought.
Yeah, it was fun. And I like, especially, I feel like all the music is like very earwormy. Like it's easy, fun beats, but they get stuck in your head for days in a fun way.
I thought, is Steam Heat the one that's like the dance move? That's the one. Yeah. That's the one to me that stands out.
Ooh, yeah. Like, that one's great.
Well, because it features, so this movie has a character, I'm going to put that in quotes, who's like kind of the secretary person. Who's really just there because she's an amazing dancer. Yeah, every time they do a drama scene with her, it's like, well, I don't know about this. But she's clearly an incredible dancer. She's in the middle of all the big dance moves. And that's her big moment, I think.
It's great.
That number is great. Yeah.
That one's great. I also love Orlando's Hideaway. Hernando's Hideaway.
That got stolen and reused a bunch.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you know any song from this in passing, it's probably that song.
This song was in Snatch. Like that's a movie I instantly recall it from. I think it was the backdrop to the famous SNL bit, Fernando's Hideaway.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs that are like earwormy. I completely agree with that. Okay, I have some critical questions before we get into your comfort food stuff.
Yeah.
So like, how do we feel about the love interests?
I don't like him at all, actually.
Yeah. And he feels like a grandpa that's not old yet.
He feels like a grandpa, and it's Doris Day has had some like amazing co-stars, and I would put him way at the bottom of anyone that she's been opposite of.
Who else has she been opposite of memorably? I don't know her career.
Rock Hudson.
Okay.
Carrie Grant.
Sure, there you go.
I forgot, but she's in the Hitchcock movie.
I need to look up her career because she's a name that I don't have associated with a lot of specific movies. So I'm looking up her career now because I should have done this earlier.
The Man Who Knew Too Much is her Hitchcock film.
Oh, she recently died.
Yeah.
2019. Wow.
I actually have this is also, I have a letter when I was really little. My mom wrote to Doris Day and was like, I watch, all my movies with my daughter. And we love, and she wrote a letter back that invited us to get tea with her in Carmel.
No.
Yeah. And we have it signed by Doris Day. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
I know. And before she died, I was like, oh, I should find that letter and
cash it in. Be like, it's tea time, bro.
Yeah, it's tea time.
It's Mag's o'clock.
Hey, you don't remember. I know you don't remember, but
how could she?
Yeah.
So Calamity Jane's pretty famous. Is Love Me or Leave Me? Is that a famous one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Julie, I want to say.
Yeah.
Pajama Game, right? Mm-hmm. It Happened to Jane. Pillow Talk. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen. Mm-hmm. How many of these have you seen? You've seen them all?
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen them all.
All right, fair enough. So why this one?
This one, because I was thinking, I knew I wanted it to be a Doris Day movie because, again, like any of them would be on a rainy day. My mom and I would watch together. But this one, I had memories of just being so fun, and all the dance numbers are so memorable. And also, I remembered there were so many moments that I love of Doris Day, like when she insists on being the knife throwing scene. I remember loving that scene as a kid, and things just came back so vividly that I was like, this is the one. And the costumes I remembered being fun. And I was like, well, everything that I remember about this musical is fun, and like I have warm feelings thinking of it. So that makes me think that it's my comfort movie that I would and
what would you do with your mom when you watched it?
Oh, we would pop popcorn, watch the movie, sing the songs together.
Together?
Yeah.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Anybody else in the family or just you and your mom?
Just me, and my mom.
Okay, so your brother and father, they see this, they get out of the room. What happens?
Oh, I mean, they're just like,
girls.
Girls. No, I'm sure my dad has seen all these movies too, but I mean, we just liked it. It was something that we would do together, like it was our girl time.
That's cute.
Girl time.
How often did you do this?
Any rainy day. Sometimes my mom would just be like, "You've had a really long week at school. Why don't you just stay home on Friday?" And so,
oh my God,
would just stay
she's
home.
The best mom in the world.
Yes. When people talk about their parents making them go to school, I had the exact opposite experience where my mom was always trying to get me to take a break or and to be fair, especially in high school, I was very overworking myself, and she, so it was good parenting advice. Yeah, to please take a break. Don't you're a teenager. Don't.
I don't think I was ever asked to voluntarily skip school by my parents.
Yeah,
I don't think that ever happened.
Now I realize how uncommon that is.
Oh yeah, my parents are like, no, you can go to school.
Yeah,
you can go there.
Don't even try to fake sick.
Right.
But yeah, my mom was, quality time was more important than a lot of other things. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. So just popcorn? That's the only snack?
Popcorn, sometimes Shirley Temples. I love Shirley Temples, so my mom would have the stuff to make them.
The grenadine? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you drink them alone now? Do you ever drink a Shirley Temple alone?
I haven't, but I have ordered one at a restaurant before in my adulthood.
Did they look at you? Or they like, Shirley Temple?
Yes.
Sure you don't want a little vodka
Give
in that?
it to me. No.
Yeah. It was a very, what's the name of that character from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Veruca Salt. It's like a very Veruca Salt moment. I want the Shirley Temple now, waiter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you think? What did you think of the movie? Or did you have any warm feelings watching it? What was your?
I liked the musical numbers more than I normally do. Mm-hmm. I hate musicals for the most part.
Interesting. I actually didn't think I know that.
Hate's maybe strong. I don't like them. I don't enjoy them.
There's a lot that I don't like.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's only maybe a few that I do. Mm-hmm. Mostly I don't. Mm-hmm. And this movie reminded me why. Because there's no plot in musicals.
Yes. This one especially very light on plot.
Well, no, it's like half a story.
Yeah.
Because musicals have to remove the stuff that makes stories feel with twists and turns and have a lot of narrative movement. That doesn't really exist here, especially with the love story.
Yeah.
The love story is very and now she sees him, and then she falls in love.
Yeah.
And it's what? That's a whole movie right there. Just figuring that out.
Yeah.
Not in this movie. I think that's why I liked Chicago so much. Because Chicago sort of retained the twists and turns a little more.
Is that your favorite thing in a movie like twists and turns? Or is that
I like emotional vulnerability in movies. I like surprises. And I like something that makes me contemplate either an issue or a person or a situation in a new light. That's what I like. I like to, oh, wow. I never thought about it that way. That kind of stuff, I really like that.
That's fun it's funny because those are things that if I'm thinking about a comfort movie, I want to remove. I like this movie as a comfort movie because there's less twists and turns. There's less plot. So me, it's more because it's more, more like a lazy river rather than it's a brain off
thing, right?
Yeah, but also because it's so dynamic and it just tickles a different part of my brain.
I completely understand. I don't have those experiences with movies. Never have that experience with movies. When I watch a movie, my mind is turned on, which is why I don't watch them to chill out much. I don't. I do video games to chill out, which is why on our video game podcast you'll hear me talk about gameplay and just be like the loop needs to be fun,
right? Because
that's what I'm looking for. That's where I'm looking for the brain to not always be on. Movies. This is, God willing, my life's work. So I don't. Every movie is a school session for me.
But even if you've seen it upwards of 10 times,
it's shots and it's like if I've already seen it, all the more craft stuff I start thinking about, which, you know what I mean? Like so the first time I watch a movie now, the craft, I don't always absorb it as much, but I absorb it a little bit. And so this is all hearsay to point out, I don't have that experience. The thing you're looking for, I don't have that. That doesn't happen to me.
That's so interesting. Because I understand it, because a lot of times I watch a movie, it is that for me. Because similarly, however, I have realized that because the thing that I mostly connect with is acting, like a lot of times when I watch it, that's, especially on rewatches, that's the thing that I focus on.
Yeah, that's your craft.
Yeah, that's my craft. Yeah. So it's like, so a lot of the things that that you, I think, would have to focus on as a director, I get to like wash away in a way.
I mean, the actor's performance is also part of it.
Oh, yeah,
it's one of the reasons why we were talking about this before. It's one of the reasons why I like Friends so much, that show Friends. Friends, in my opinion, is not a top tier sitcom for writing. It's not bad. There's a lot of great jokes, but like, I just think I can think of a lot of shows I think the writing is sharper, but the fun thing about Friends is the acting. And watching, like, I can go watch a Friends episode over and over and over and get really interesting nuances to their choices. The choices, like the blocking choices, where the head goes, where the hand goes. That's all directing stuff too, you know? And they're so good at it. Like those six were so good at that.
Yeah.
You know, which is why so many of them went on to direct stuff, you know? Anyway, I bring that up because that part is also really important to really absorb what a movie is, and especially a musical. Like if you're gonna watch a musical, and if it's not shot in like a fancy schmancy way, which this was not, then what are you watching? You're watching how they stage the dancing, and then also how they block it. Because musicals are all blocking. That's all they are.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I'll go on if you'd like, Maggie. Maggie was very polite there. Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate that. I did like it okay. I was surprised and then not surprised what it was about. I was like, what? And then I was like, Maggie, you did it again. Yeah.
You know,
you did it again.
It is funny that I picked this basically out of instinct, and then watching it, I was like, was this formative?
Maggie's heart has a way that it likes to go.
It truly does. It does.
It's okay. I like that. Do you mind if we transition?
Let's
over
get
to
Lost in Translation.
Okay. That's the one I picked. Lost in Translation from 2003.
2003.
I was happy to say when I watched it this time, it was not too offensive. I was a little worried that it was going to be mildly racist or sexist, and it's not really. It's okay.
Not really? Yeah.
There's a few things, but mostly it still feels comfortable. I don't feel like watching it because it's the kind of premise that could be awful.
It could be so right. Like there's a version of this that is
if this was made in the 90s or 80s, same premise, it's unwatchable now.
Unwatchable, yeah.
Yeah. Just the way that they saw the world was different. That's one of the reasons why I like it so much. It does feel like kind of not in a time. Like it's certainly in a time because of what the technology and stuff they're dealing with
and
is.
you see Anna Faris, and that's very
right.
time period.
That's right. Anna Faris being in it is a thing. But like aside from what phones they're using, it doesn't feel very much like it's bound by the tech stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, basically, they are all in a way confined to this hotel. Like this hotel is kind of like
the only thing they have.
And it also feels like a symbolic space, which also makes it feel timeless in a way.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume most of you have seen this movie, but I'm going to summarize it anyway. So Lost in Translation it was filmed by Sofia Coppola. It's not her first film.
Not her first film. A very rare female nepotism. You hardly get them out in the wild.
That's right.
I'm saying.
It's less rare than you think. If you look into actors, you're gonna find out.
They're all nepotism. But as far as directors go,
that's true.
Yes,
not as many.
They're all
That's true. It is. I think this film shows that she deserved a chance. Honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a great film. I think,
I think her work in it is really good. Anyway, the premise of it is that Bill Murray plays a character very similar to himself named Bob. Bob Harris, I believe.
Harris.
Bob Harris is in Japan, in Tokyo, for a paid gig to sell whiskey. And so they have him there for a week, basically. And it's really clear that he's at a crossroads moment in his marriage. His marriage is very distant. It's somewhat hostile, not terribly hostile, but it's not a warm marriage anymore.
Yeah.
And he's basically the only English-speaking person that is there, except for like a lounge singer. And also in this hotel is ScarJo's character. What's the name? Her name just flew right out of my head.
Who? Which one?
ScarJo's character in that. I know this is upsetting already.
I know. I also don't remember.
I'm looking it up. I'm sorry, audience. We're Lawson. No, it's not. Catface.
Catface.
Cat o'clock. I'm looking. Charlotte. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Starts with a C.
They do say it a few times. She plays Charlotte, a relatively newly married woman. She's been 2 years. That's an interesting amount of time.
It is an interesting.
She's a Yale grad who is with her husband, a photographer. She basically kind of traveled along with him because she didn't want to be home alone.
Yeah.
And so she ends up in this hotel alone. And he's off photographing everything. Right?
Snapping pics.
He's actually perfectly played by Giovanni Ribisi.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, in like the most, just like such a thin layer of douche, just very thin. So the story is essentially these two people meeting, kind of each with their own sort of isolated angst thing that they're going through, and they befriend each other, and then the movie kind of becomes like are they going to have an affair or aren't they? And the movie sort of very gently navigates that question all the way to the very end.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm not going to spoil. I don't know. They don't.
It's been a long time.
They don't have an affair.
If you haven't seen it yet,
they don't. They come very close.
Yeah.
But it feels like they don't really cross any terrifically forbidden place.
Yeah. At the end, like it simultaneously. Yeah, it is that question of. Yeah, will they, won't they? But it doesn't feel salacious
at all. It's not salacious at all.
No, not at all. It's
Although the movie does put stuff in front of us all the time to kind of make that question more vibrant.
It's almost asking you, how much do you want them to get together?
Yes, it is asking you that.
Yeah, it is that.
100%.
It's asking you what are
should
you?
They do?
Yeah, what should they do? And what are your feelings about that? Are you wanting them? You know, it's kind of like it almost interrogates you about how you're watching the movie in a way.
I think that's one of the brilliant things about it. It also, if you had to categorize it, it's really a coming of age story for both of them.
Yeah,
like it's
coming into different.
But it's the same journey. That's what's so cool about it. They're both on the same journey of feeling like purposeless and sort of why am I doing any of this, and then they happen to sort of connect in this one brief moment, and you know they almost go the wrong direction with it, but then they don't. It's really great. I really, really like it. So that's the movie. Maggie, give me your impressions of it first.
So I actually had never seen this
movie.
I know.
How had you not seen it?
I know. It's one of those, I mean, especially when I was going through my period of watching just every movie that anyone ever said was good. That was one for just some reason I always looked at the cover and was like, it just never picked it up.
Never appealed to you.
Yeah.
It's not a sexy cover.
It's not.
It's just Bill Murray in a bed.
It's Bill Murray in a kimono, and it's so I never picked it up. I liked it. I like kind of that grounded, realistic, non-romantic, like a postmodern rom-com, if you can even, if that's a title to it.
There's not a lot of calm to it.
Yes, not a lot of calm to it. And I like that. I loved the pacing. I love how like patient everything felt.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of Sophia's like vision and choice with it. Yeah, I mean, but I also didn't love it.
No, I don't think you can now.
I don't think you can. Yeah, and watching it, I was like, and yeah, but I do like what I said earlier. How I do feel like it's interrogating you about kind of the genre of rom-com and also like connection and people. Like, you know, what are your expectations of this couple, and whether they're met? Yeah, are they a couple? Like, what are your conception of this? So I think that is, you know, I like that a lot. I like being asked that. Yeah, and I like just movies about connection in general. It's also interesting that Sophia kind of wrote this. This is her story about her and Spike Jonze's relationship, and then her is
I'd never heard that.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is Sophia's kind of take on her and Spike Jonze's relationship, and then Spike Jonze's version of their relationship is her.
That's why I love them both so much. I love both those movies.
I know, and as I was watching, I was like, oh my God, Adam also loves her, and I was like, it's because they're both talking about like the same relationship that happened from two different people's perspectives, basically. And they both like come with like, I guess like point of view, like the point of views on both. I like, but yeah, it's interesting.
Spike Jonze isn't a lot older than her. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting how she couches herself. If I'm assuming Charlotte is her.
Yes, because the like listlessness she has said that was inspired by. Yeah.
Oh, clearly.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Charlotte is a very thinly sliced metaphor. To continue my thinly sliced metaphors for today. Can I just give you a couple making of things that I think are really cool? Allegedly, so this is like the rumor I've heard. I can't verify it, or I'm not gonna. So Bill Murray doesn't have an agent.
Oh, I do know this. Yes, he has the 800 number.
He has a phone number and a voicemail.
Yes.
And that's basically how you get him to do projects. So like that's what happened. They called him on this voicemail, and they were not sure he was going to show up.
Yeah.
They showed up to start filming the movie, not certain if Bill Murray was going to do it or not, and he did. And like it's one of his 3 or 4 best performances, far and away. Like a lot of people say like Groundhog Day or Stripes or whatever, and those are fun.
Yeah.
He's a real person in this.
Yeah.
And there's real emotions there. He was up for Best Actor. He lost, and the camera was on him when he lost, and you can go watch it, and you can see the disappointment.
Man.
Whoever the host was that year came out and said, "Bill, we love you."
Oh, whoa!
I know it's like just hearing it, it's like, oh, that's so heart wrenching.
Yeah,
because he knew he's not gonna win this.
Yeah.
Like this is his one shot. It's unlikely he's gonna get another shot.
Yeah.
So he was doing some really great work around this time because he also did Rushmore, similar time, and those are both really cool roles for him.
Did you know Sophia wrote this for Bill Murray, and she wasn't going to make it? Yeah, if he didn't do it. Of course,
who else could do it? He's so naturally charming that he can be 45 hanging out with a bunch of 20-year-olds, and it feels like what a fun movie idea, you know, instead of like what a loser, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of what a loser.
No, because he's alone in a hotel. No, because he's alone in a hotel. Meaning like, I think the audience, just because he has nowhere else to go, it's not like he's like a hanger-on. I think it's like he needs something to do.
Oh, sure, but so no, I think there's still a little bit of he's doing
like because he's hanging out with these kids.
No, because he's doing commercials for with like he's
in his state of life. You mean?
Yeah. In his state of life, he's in like his marriage is in a weird spot. Like it's not condemning him. It's not taking a strong opinion on him.
I know what you mean now.
Yeah, it's allowing you to be like, okay, you know.
Yeah, he's miserable.
Yes.
And sympathetic to a degree.
But it also doesn't ask you to, like, it doesn't ask you to, like, feel so bad, you know.
No, he's still a rich guy.
Exactly.
You know, and he never stops being that.
Yeah.
And he never stops being a celebrity in this. Even Charlotte to a very minor degree, acknowledges his celebrity.
Right, yeah.
So, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I also think the same thing of her character. Like as much as, we're, like, rooting for her in a way, she's still, like, standoffish and, like,
she's not a warm person.
Yeah, she's not a warm, and, like, she's kind of, like, she
hates Anna Faris.
Yeah, she hates
for, like,
Anna Faris.
Dumb reasons.
Yeah, things like that. And actually, to me, I think it makes the movie stronger that they're both
they're mixed. They're mixed. You have mixed feelings about them.
Yeah.
This is a fine wine of a movie. Like, it really is. That's one of the things I really like about it, is that, like, a lot of movies don't dare to be this emotionally complicated.
Yeah.
And it is. And it's hard for me to tell how well written this movie is, because
a lot of it was improvised.
That's not surprising to me.
Yes. And also she wrote, I guess I read a lot of behind the scenes stuff. She wrote basically just paragraphs kind of describing memories that she had of Tokyo, just describing, like, moments that she wanted to have.
And then went out and got it.
Yeah.
This is now starting to sound like more of a nepotism project. That's not how movies are normally made.
Yes. And not to take away from any of her direct, because, like, they're a great.
It's still a great film.
It's still a great film.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, that was kind of the gist of it. Yeah.
That doesn't really surprise me, looking at what the movie is. The only reason I'm saying this so that the audience can connect to that comment, you just need a lot of money to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to kind of dick around and find the movie is like, okay, so you have money. Because if you don't, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Movies are way too expensive to do that. That's interesting.
It was shot with a very small crew, and but
of course, yeah. This isn't a Michael Bay film. It's a light crew. It's still beautifully shot, though.
Beautifully shot. Yes.
And beautifully shot in, like, for 2003, for a mainstream movie in 2003, a very eye-opening way. Like, you can see a little bit of, like, the hints of the Veritas that came before it. Like, this is a movie breaking away from studio pictures. And making something more personal and more profound than studio pictures, really. And I love that about it. I'll always love that about it. This movie came out about a month after I was kicked out of the church.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah.
And kicked out is a very harsh term. I'll rephrase it. Invited to stay if I chose to is probably the better way to describe.
I would say kicked out.
That's the actual thing that happened.
Yeah.
So, in life, when you're in a painful place, one of the things that you can't plan on, but you need, is, like, something that speaks directly to it. Right?
To feel heard, like your pain is being recognized.
Right, and also so that the pain can be brought to the surface in some ways. Yeah. Like, it took years and years before I was not angry about that in a present tense way.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say Lost in Translation ever healed anything.
Right.
It did not.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, it's almost like it's a story about how do you navigate tremendous disappointment.
Yeah.
Because they both have it. They both have tremendous disappointment.
Both in themselves and their marriage.
Their marriages.
And where they are. Yeah.
And these are people who, like, they have things that a lot of people think would make you happy. Like, Bob Harris is a guy who should, by the math, be happy. I mean, I think also Charlotte is a person who, by the math, should be happy.
A Yale graduate, yeah.
Clearly has enough money to float around and not have to work.
Right,
and, and things that I would say in this modern landscape we define as bringing happiness. And they're not. And I think there's something profoundly true about that. And I think the expression of like having to go through an awkward, painful sort of escapist process to come to grips with what is essentially a moving on.
Yeah.
Because they both are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if either of their marriage survives that week.
Yeah.
They might. But like, I do know that both people came out of that week feeling like they knew what the next step was, which I think they didn't before that week.
Yeah.
And that is a profound thing in human life. Like when you're walking through a crisis of any size, big or small, knowing what comes next is the only good thing there is in that period of time. Just knowing what to do next is a really good thing. And that's sort of what the movie's about. So it was profoundly transformative in that way. Also, it's a story of sort of a thing that is true about how do I say this? Sort of love and sex, which is that this is a relationship that shouldn't exist because it's wrong on a foundational level. And we all think that.
Yeah, yeah.
And yet, we also can understand why it would happen.
Yeah.
And but the fact that they didn't go through with it is what makes you like the characters in the end, I think. They could have gone through with it, and it still could have been a good movie, but I don't think you would have liked the characters.
Yeah, you would have been like, oh, okay.
Like, so you fell into a thing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of movies like that.
Yeah.
Where they fall into a thing, and that's what the movie is. And that spoke somewhat profoundly to me for a person leaving a leadership role in a church and sort of like trying to figure out what to do with feeling like kind of isolated.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
not knowing who to or how to date anymore after the things that happened. And so there was that part of it too that I found sort of that made sense. And I don't mean like the age gap piece. I just mean because of their commitments, they can't do this.
Yeah, and they're not even in their like they didn't meet like in their hometown. You know, they're in Tokyo. They're in a completely separate place. Yeah, they're out of sorts. Yeah, it's I
also have this like weird theory that maybe you'll agree with and maybe you won't. That like sometimes in life you can have these sort of prophetic moments where you realize what's going to happen next, or you realize sort of what the next phase is, but you can't hold on to it. They're sort of ephemeral. And I think in a way Lost in Translation describes or illuminated for me what was coming next, which was the slow process of like becoming a different person.
Yeah.
And I think that entire party, that basically 40-minute party, that is what the next 5 years of my life was.
Wow, yeah.
Was like trying to sort of find some new way to be, some new place to go, but still being trapped in this situation. So, and I didn't come prepared with all this to say. I actually wasn't sure why I picked this movie.
Oh,
I do that a lot.
Yeah. You just went with your gut. Yeah.
I'm kind of a gunslinger on this podcast. I don't plan what I'm going to say. So I wasn't sure why I picked this, but I was like, that's the right one, and I think this is why. Yeah,
I absolutely see that and felt that when I was watching it. Like, I think it does speak to, again, that like moment in people's lives that I think a lot of people can relate to, of like almost being forced
I'm stuck
to
here.
I'm stuck.
Don't know what to do.
And
I'm alone.
Right. And that push to again like become a different person after that, I think.
I mean, right, that's how it happens. Like, I mean, one thing that's become really clear to me in the last 10 years is that every painful experience is also an opportunity, and that opportunity is either to become more gracious or to become more angry, like bitter.
More hardened. Yes, hardened, or exactly.
And I know there's gonna be somebody here like not and there's some horrible experience.
Sure.
I understand.
Yes.
I just mean this in a very loose sense. I'm not trying to speak to your circumstances, dear listener, but in general, painful experiences offer that kind of opportunity, and that's what most movies that you might call rites of passage movies are about. That's also like my favorite genre of movie, I think.
Yeah.
You saw almost all the rest of the movies were Alexander Payne movies because that's what he makes.
Yeah.
He makes exclusively, pretty much, rite of passage movies, and they're all awesome. I love those movies. But I've never written a good one of those, and I'm hoping to write one. Maybe this year. Maybe this is the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love those movies. They mean something to me.
Aww.
That's it. That's it for all these things.
Those were our comfort movies.
That was comfort food.
Yeah.
Hopefully you were comforted by that food.
Yeah.
But we do have some more producers to thank.
We do have some more producers.
Yeah, we really do. Starting with Lady About Town, or Man About Town.
Lady About where?
Allie Bushell.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm hoping it's
Person About Town.
Yeah, Human
I
About
don't
Town.
know if
I'm
we
sorry.
asked.
I realize I bet real hard on this, and I have no idea. Yeah.
You threw a ball.
Yeah. I mean, either way, can we agree they're wearing some marvelous headgear?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They got ice in the hair, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
Yes.
Thanks to Jessica M.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you.
Solid name.
You want to take our next?
Timothy Schreiner. Yes, I do.
You should be the person who announces his boxing match. Just
yes.
You do great at that.
Thank you.
It'd be really funny how uncomfortable you'd be doing that.
Did you? I've told you this before, that I was in a wrestling show in college for 4 years.
Oh my God, no.
Did you not know that?
No.
Yes,
Maggie,
I was.
I'm going to see all of it, please.
I was a female wrestler for
A female wrestler?
Yes. Yeah.
You were a wrestler?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
All right,
We'll
hold
talk
on
about
to it.
this one.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Absolutely.
You're just dropping that at what is how long into this podcast is this?
Listen, Timothy
hour,
Shriver,
7?
that was all for you.
Holy shit. Dropping a fucking bag of jewels at my feet.
That's why I listened to the whole podcast. I'm dropping.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
What a treasure trove.
Yep.
Thanks to Becky Hilbig.
Thank you, Becky.
Thank you to Peter Jones.
Thank you, Peter Jones.
Accountant /
Extraordinaire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got a calculator and a holster. That's what he's.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks to Sean Bibinet.
Sean Bibinet.
That's a hell of a name.
Yeah, you
right?
You have bunnies for pets. Sean Bibinet.
Oh yeah.
With his rabbits.
What, he might have bunnies for pets' food. Like he has a real big snake. Yeah, real big snake.
Aww.
Speaking of which, how's Duck?
Duck's great.
Haven't heard about Duck
Just
in a while.
shed.
Yeah, oh yeah. Is he big now?
He's pretty big. He's full grown. He's at 2.5, almost 3, almost a whole yard.
That's bigger than he was last time I saw him.
Yeah. But this is about as big as he'll get.
Last time I saw Duck, I think it's fair to say, writhed all over my arm.
He did.
For a while. He was really writhing on my arm.
He does this thing where he tries to steal Adam's heat. From his arm. Yeah,
like, why
he
are you
does.
such a fucking vampire?
Yeah.
He was doing that. Okay.
Bizarre, but fun.
Thanks to Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks to Joel Harper.
Joel Harper.
Thanks to Garrett Cooper, a.k.a. Asking Seven.
Yeah.
Love him.
Love him.
Okay. Thanks to Benjamin Egan.
Benjamin Egan.
He's a beautiful man.
A professor.
Yeah.
Fine
Actually, I
arts.
believe so.
Interesting.
That might be right.
Okay.
I think he's a grad student.
Okay.
If I remember the narrative correctly.
Close enough.
Close. He's getting a professor.
Yeah,
I'll give him the salute when he gets there. Pie Guy, thank you.
Pie Guy.
Thanks to Gage Jennings.
Gage Jennings.
Ninja in training. Yeah.
Just started.
Yeah, just started. They're handing out the stars this week.
Handing out the stars. Yes, he has a clear belt.
Have you ever thrown a ninja star?
No, have you?
What a scary thing to do. Yeah,
have
no,
you?
no.
Oh, no.
I just want to though once.
I'm sure you can. That's somewhere they got it.
I think they're pretty dangerous.
Oh, I'm sure wielded correctly, they're dangerous, but
I'm sure wielded incorrectly, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
You're flinging a little death frisbee. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like a knife where it's like it's got to hit you one way.
This
thing's designed to stick.
Yeah.
So Christina, hey, thanks.
Hey, thanks, Christina.
Kyle Schrotel, thank you.
Schrotel Moto.
Definitely. He's gotten that joke a bunch now.
We're
gonna have to work on it with him.
It's not a joke at this point. It's just canon.
It's just fix your name.
It's just
Tony Fahey.
Thank you, Tony Fahey.
That guy works on the Alyeska pipeline, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Up north,
Yeah,
he's got a team of dogs.
Yeah.
Chasing him around.
They love him. They will not eat him if they all get stranded.
No, they're loyal dogs. He's trained them well.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
So I guess he's traveling by bobsled, we've decided. He's training for the Iditarod.
Training for the Iditarod.
Are they even still doing that? I don't know. Daniel Christensen.
Thank you, Daniel Christensen.
Carrie Lewis.
Carrie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Taylor Carriage.
Taylor Carriage.
Thank you, Taylor.
The old Taylor Carriage is here.
She's from Australia.
She's from Australia.
But I genuinely enjoyed that half accent you did.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And finally, our favorite, Animatanium Jello.
Animatanium Jello.
He's beautiful. Okay. Are we done, Megs? Did we do it?
That was it.
Have we podcasted?
I think we podcasted. That was great.
It was great.
We always learn so much about each other.
We really
which
do.
Is fun.
Thank you so much to our patrons for the topic. Remember that as a patron, you can select the topics that that you will then vote on. You can pitch them, and we'll usually change them up just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I often give feedback to people who pitch. So if you ever send a pitch, I will usually tell you what I like about it, what we should work on, so that you will have more success. Because I want you to succeed.
Yeah.
Also, patrons, as we said, get to vote on topics. They get to send us emails that we both read.
Yes.
And, in general, you've seen it. There's just a lot of love for us to give you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll make a fun, weird backstory that becomes truth in our minds.
And then we'll have a hard time forgetting it for the next time we have to do it.
Yes.
Anyway, Mags, what a pleasure.
Well, this was fantastic.
Always great.
Always.
Okay, see you soon, buddy.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The Beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you!